Do you also think of yourself less every time you get a low score in your examinations? Are you the type of student who would always check on everybody's score just to make sure that you are not the lowest in the class, or you feel threatened because you might not end up the top scorer? Or are you the type of student who is very obsessive compulsive in terms of your grade or academic performance? Well, I am not excluding myself from this narrative, since I have been there and done that when I was still a student like you. I can still vividly remember that I used to be very particular with the items I answered wrong. So I would ask my classmates or the teacher to double-check the correct answer. As students, we are so conscious of what we may receive after a given assessment because we are after excellence. But what is with excellence that everyone is aiming for? Long have we spoken or heard of this word. However, does our definition of excellence resemble a wider horizon? Nowadays, many students would always associate excellence with academic awards or achievements. Back when I was still studying, topping the class seemed of prime importance to me. Because of my dedication and hardworking nature, I consistently became the valedictorian when I graduated in elementary and high school. And most especially, the Summa Cum Laude when I finished my undergraduate degree, Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in mathematics. Along with the academic honor I received were my other special awards, such as Most Outstanding Graduate in Academics, which was given to the graduate who garnered the highest general weighted average in the whole university. Consistent First Honors and Student of the Year for 4 consecutive years, and Most Outstanding Mathematics Student Teacher. These awards and recognitions catapulted me to another level of greatness. However, can I say that those who did not make the cut were not great? What about those who just barely made it to graduation? Am I supposed to use my academic feat to measure their capacity and intelligence? It dawned on me that they could be excellent as well beyond the 4 walls of the classroom. The underpinning for this is that excellence can be anywhere. Excellence reveals itself in many forms. There was a purpose why Harvard psychologist Dr. Howard Gardner came up with his multiple intelligence theory. According to Dr. Gardner, people have different intelligences. One can be good at words, others can excel because they are better at dealing with numbers, and some are better singers or visual artists. Thus, we are seeing things in different perspectives. In my case, I am good at teaching mathematics since I arduously prepared for it during my undergraduate studies. Every time I have my class with my students, I make sure that I employ appropriate teaching strategies for them to learn best. My knowledge and content and the pedagogy on teaching is already sufficient. So my very task as a teacher is to deliver it according to the learning styles of my students. Well, aside from getting myself acquainted with numbers and symbols, I also decided to venture outside of the discipline and work on the things I am passionate about. Since I am blessed to have a skill in public speaking, I grabbed every opportunity to spread my advocacy and to inspire others. I kickstarted my journey into this field by joining school-level public speaking competitions. Of course, a lot of you can relate. Sometimes you will win, and sometimes you will lose. However, my losses did not halt my burning passion to improve my public speaking skills by joining over and over and over again. I also took criticisms constructively. I kept on practicing and training until I finally savored the fruit of my labor when I prevailed as champion, both in the National Extemporaneous Speaking Contest of the Philippine Association of State Universities and Colleges and in the virtual public speaking competition during the Junior Chamber International Asia Pacific Conference 2021 in Taichung, Taiwan. Because I also have a heart for servant leadership, I joined Junior Chamber International Regatta, an organization of outstanding and inspiring leaders from the field of education, healthcare, business, entrepreneurship, and politics. So I have been given various opportunities to train and sharpen the cutting edge of JCI members and local organizations by serving as its current local skills and development director. In some communities in my province where other lights go out due to the unprecedented situation, my all-out effort as a role model became their torch in making informed decisions and taking sustainable actions. These initiatives made me a recipient of the Outstanding Students of Iloilo Awards and a national finalist of the 10 Outstanding Students of the Philippines. Being more for others by reaching out to them and amplifying their voice seems like a fulfillment of my destiny. My heart goes out to those who need to be empowered as leaders and speakers. All the advocacies I advance speak of a truth that I am not only confined with the profession I chose, that it is not only the avenue where I can be extraordinary. My all-rounder self tells me that I have to share my gifts from God, or else these will all be in vain. Likewise, you can find excellence even in the smallest of things. You may be unaware, but you live by and with excellence in your everyday life. Your simple act of waking up in the morning and starting your day with an end in mind is already an exemplar of excellence, since becoming the person you envision to be cannot happen in a split second or overnight. You are then working for it every day. Truly, consistency in doing great means you are on it. Your efforts of attending your classes regularly and working religiously on your deliverables are also an embodiment of excellence. With all the limitations brought about by these very challenging times, you are already praiseworthy for making it to the end of a semester or school year. As a teacher, I have heard and known from my students how difficult it is to learn with a little help from your teacher or more knowledgeable others. That is why I commend them for believing in themselves that they can still continue their education while battling with a lot of hindering factors. Also, I want you to imagine this. Excellence also manifests when you surmount the insurmountable challenges of life. Growing up in Sicugon Island, Iloilo, mired by poverty, coupled with prevalence of passivity and hopelessness, I realize that I have to be rock solid in the oceans of life to see changes in our situation as a family struggling to get out of poverty. Even if education was never a priority from where I grew up, since everyone is more focused on how to earn a living, my situation began to fuel up my dream, not just for myself, but all the more for my family. I can still remember back then when my zeal for studying was only matched by the nagging voice of hunger churning my stomach. I had to spend the night literally burning candles since our island does not have access to electricity. From where I came from, where proper healthcare is much to be desired, I lost my parents, being deprived of professional medical services. In the years following the tragedies I encountered, I could have just chosen to quit, but I chose to let go and let God. Little did I know that the creator of this universe is preparing me for something bigger. But one day, I would cast myself like a stone thrown across the waters to create ripples that would inspire others to do the same. I became an orphan at an early age, so I had no choice but to do the things on my own to continue schooling. While studying in high school, I worked for my teacher in order to defray my needs. My predicament went on as I was abandoned by my own family member, so I single-handedly managed again to send myself to university while looking for various scholarships that could somehow help me pay my tuition fees and other expenses. Despite all these, I remained steadfast and resilient as all roads, the smooth and the rough, led me graduating as the first Summa Cum Laude from our island, which also fulfilled the dream of my parents who did not have the chance to get a degree. Truly, you could still be the greatest exemplar of excellence even when you are confronting a lot of battles on two fronts. It all boils down to a point that belonging to honors list is not only the culture of excellence you should cultivate in you. Your life as a student has many facets which you can channel your intelligence and God-given talents. Make your experiences worthwhile, as doing so will not only help you realize your purpose, but also will make you a better person who touches the lives of others. If you have the capacity to do something, nurture it to perfection in spite of the extraordinary circumstances you may face. Do not let your comfort zones blind you to what opportunities the world may be in store for you. Whether it is for you or for others, as long as you have a heart for it, pursue it and do not let it slip away. Lastly, think of yourselves better despite not receiving any award or publicly recognized as excellent for just being good in character already makes you one. Rekindle excellence within your heart and remember that it carries a more profound meaning, which is not limited to what we used to know. There is more to it than meets the eye. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have just redefined excellence. Thank you very much.